Imagine you're walking down a familiar street at night. Looking up, you realize things are wrong. You've somehow traveled to the past. These unexplained moments when reality shifts to another era are known as time slips, and they have been reported worldwide. Tonight on Altered Histories, we explore the phenomenon of the time slip terror. Are these experiences mere tricks of the mind, or glimpses into another layer of reality? A time slip describes an experience where a person seems to be transported to another time period, often with vivid detail. Unlike déjà vu or a simple memory, these episodes are reported to feel entirely, convincingly real. Time slips have been reported in all kinds of places, from quiet alleys to bustling streets, often leaving the people who experience them shaken and questioning what they saw. Some believe these episodes are mere hallucinations, while others argue they're real, offering a brief connection to a different layer of reality. But what makes time slips truly fascinating is that they often involve vivid sensory details, sights, sounds, and even smells that feel entirely authentic. One of the most famous time slip cases happened on the now infamous Bold Street in Liverpool, England. Over the years, multiple people have reported stepping onto this busy street and suddenly finding themselves in a different decade, often the 1950s or even earlier. In the first incident our research team has uncovered, a man named Frank was walking down Bold Street in the 1990s when he noticed something odd. The modern cars around him had disappeared, replaced by older models. The people around him wore clothing from another era, and the stores displayed items he hadn't seen in decades. Frank walked into a bookstore he recognized, only to find it filled with old-fashioned products and magazines from the 1950s. Then, as suddenly as it started, the scene shifted back, and he found himself in the present day. As it turns out, Frank's experience would not be the last such incident reported on Bold Street. Other visitors to the area have reported similar experiences, describing a sudden shift to the past that leaves them questioning reality. Why do so many people experience these slips in the same location? Another famous case, known as the Versailles time slip, took place in 1901 when two British women, Anne Moberly and Eleanor Jourdan, were visiting the gardens of the Palace of Versailles in France. As they walked through the grounds, they noticed an odd, dreamlike atmosphere. The women later described seeing people dressed in 18th century clothing, including a man wearing a tricorn hat and a woman sketching nearby. They even claimed to see Marie Antoinette herself, seated on the lawn. When they shared their story, they became convinced they had somehow crossed into the 18th century, experiencing Versailles as it was before the French Revolution. The Moberly-Jourdan case is famous for the detailed accounts the women gave, and their story sparked years of debate. Was it an elaborate hoax, a shared delusion, or a genuine time slip into Versailles' past? Another incident happened to a man who was visiting the Tower of London. While wandering the grounds, he reported seeing soldiers dressed in full armor standing guard. But as he approached them, they vanished. He later discovered that he'd seen uniforms from a time long past, possibly from the 1600s. Time slips aren't confined to famous landmarks. In 2006, a woman named Lorraine shared her experience of driving through the English countryside when she suddenly felt a shift. The road around her had changed, and she found herself on an old dirt path with buildings and signs that appeared ancient. She drove for miles before the scene shifted back to normal, leaving her questioning the experience. Science offers a few potential explanations for the time slip phenomenon. One theory suggests that time slips may be connected to geomagnetic anomalies, which could affect perception and cause people to experience intense, vivid memories or even hallucinations. Another theory is that these experiences are moments where time overlaps in certain locations, creating what some call timescapes, pockets where the past and present coexist. This idea is speculative, but if time is not strictly linear, it might explain why people occasionally experience shifts to another era. Some paranormal researchers believe time slips could be linked to alternate realities, where similar but slightly different timelines occasionally intersect. If our world is one of many, could time slips be brief moments when we cross paths with these other realities? Are time slips simply tricks of the mind, sensory glitches, or true connections to the past? For those who experience them, time slips feel profoundly real, challenging their understanding of time and reality. Until science can fully explain these strange events, time slips remain an enigma, leaving us to question whether we are ever truly anchored to one moment in time. So, if you ever find yourself in a place that doesn't quite feel like the present, perhaps you've slipped into the past. If you like what you've seen, don't let these mysteries fade away. Like and subscribe to join us here on Altered Histories as we journey into the unknown. Always remember, reality may be stranger than you think,